Okay, so when I play Payday, mobility is a huge part of how I do my skill builds and basically how I play. Mobility, speed and stamina, being able to run away from things or run to things, either or is very important to me and how I like to play. So I don't usually do a lot with heavy armor and being slow, a turtle, being built like a tank. I don't do a lot of that. Now, when I first started playing Payday, I did actually I didn't use the improved tactical vest armor. I didn't use like the fully upgraded armor, but it was the next step down. I did do that, and most of my skill points were put into the technician. So, but I didn't know a lot about the skills or about building. You know, it was just when I first started playing. I hadn't even reached infamy yet. But ever since then, I've kind of slowly moved towards more speed, more stamina, and so on and so forth. That's where the dodge build came, and then the grinder perk deck came along, which was freaking awesome. And I know they changed it a little bit, but it's still really good. It's still very good. But I know there's a lot of guys that use tank builds, use heavy builds, whatever you want to call it, and they make it work very, very well. They've probably been using or working on those builds for quite a while, and finally got it to what they like. And I've seen it in game before, and they make it look really good. And I know there's some people that wanted to see a tank build, so I've been working really hard on a tank build, and it's tough. It's kind of, you try it and see if it works, and if it doesn't, you go back and try something else. I'm not happy with this one. I'm never really completely happy with a build when I do a video on it. This one even more so, because I'm just really not familiar with it, I guess. I like being mobile. But we did our best at doing a tank build here. Now I have a piece of paper with me next to me so we can go over this, and I have my builds memorized when I do the video, but I didn't have this. I don't have this one memorized whatsoever. I had to kind of mark it down to remind myself where exactly I used my skill points. So we'll jump into this and get things started. Mastermind. Okay, now the more and more I work on these builds, the more and more I like being in Mastermind. I just almost need to have Inspire, and I like having Pistol Messiah too, but I almost need Inspire. On this build, we don't hardly use any points in here, and it's weird because when I go play, you know, if someone goes down, I still find myself running over there, mashing the F key, and then, oh yeah, wait, I don't have Inspire anymore. It's tough. It's tough to get used to, but I did try a tank build using Mastermind. I know some people run Master Tech or Master Force or whatever it's called, but it just didn't feel right. It's a lot about your armor and not losing your armor. Once your armor goes down, your health goes down pretty quickly. So it's all about, for me, I think, having really stout armor. So that's what we did. And in Mastermind, all we did was we unlocked the first tree, and then we aced Endurance. We aced this, and that's all we did. So basically nothing. And it's really hard for me to not be in here, but that's how I like to run it. I know there's guys that like it other ways. If you're watching, you might like it a different way. You might like to go into Mastermind more. I don't. Personally, I don't. And I don't think it's bad to go into Mastermind if you want to run a tank build. It's just, I personally don't. Alright, so we're going to jump to Enforcer. And we spend a lot of points here. We unlock this. We obviously ace this one. And let me take a little peek here. Okay, then we come over here and we ace this, because again, you get a little bit more armor recovery. I think it's 15%. So basically, the only reason I wanted this die hard was to ace it, because I wanted the 15% armor recovery rate. And we also, I don't think I aced this one. No, I bought the basic here, which is okay. You know, less damage, because sometimes, you know, they like to swipe a knife at you or slap you against the wall or give you a good push by shield, so it's good to have that. I think it was an extra point, I just didn't know what to do. And then we ace both of these. We ace stun resistance, and we ace tough. No, wait, I don't ace tough guy. Yes, I do ace tough guy. Sorry, I think I had to unlock this next level. And then I believe we aced both of these here because we wanted the fully upgraded ammo bags. And the reason I did Berserker's cool anyways, but I was using a different perk deck. I was using the perk deck of the newest DLC character, and I'll show you that perk deck here too, but I'm not using that anymore. I'm not quite understanding how that perk deck fully works because it just didn't seem like it was working right. But the reason I did Berserker was because of that perk deck, but it's still good to have anyways, so we'll just stick with this with acing Berserker and Ammo Specialist. And then we buy the basic here for the ammo. I know it'd be nice to have it aced for the extra ammo pickup, but I don't think it's really worth it because I don't use terribly much ammo anyways, and we also have fully upgraded ammo bags here. So I didn't think that was a necessity, and then I buy the basic Iron Man just so we can get the improved combined tactical vest, the maxed out armor. So that's what we got looking here in the Enforcer. I know a lot of guys would go into shotguns here, and I know someone asked me to see a shotgun build or a dodge build with shotguns. I worked on that, but I don't know. I can't find a primary shotgun that I really like enough. So I'm not quite done with that build, but maybe we'll check that out eventually. We'll look into that eventually, but for now we're gonna do tank, and this is what I'm doing with that. I don't use a shotgun in this build, so I didn't see any reason to come into here really. I think this would have been nice to ace just because you have 20% more accuracy when hip firing, which I do hip fire a little bit, but the primary weapon I'm using, you don't really hip fire too much. A little bit, but not much, so it wasn't too important. In Technician, I'm going to go over this pretty quick because it's basically the same every single time. There's not a whole lot that changes. It's always, you know, pretty similar. We come over here. This time, acing both of these makes sense. It actually serves a purpose for sharpshooter and rifleman. Because of the primary weapon we use, it's nice to have those aced. So there is more of a point to venture into Technician this time. I believe, let's see, what is this, tier 4? Tier 4, so this is where it changes a little bit. We actually ace this, we have totally maxed drill skills, but I still only buy the basic of this because I'm not too concerned about acing it. I don't really care if I deal the taser any damage because we can take him out easy enough. Whether it be deathwish or overkill, especially overkill, it's a one-shot headshot, so it really doesn't matter that much. But this is where it gets a little bit different because I wanted first of all, you can absorb 50% more damage, and the recover rate is again increased by 25%. So if we just keep stacking all this, you know, it's good stuff, I guess. But we also do the basic of Mag Plus just to add a little bit more. It does kind of suck that it doesn't apply to sniper rifles, but it applies to, I believe, everything else. So not sure about grenade launchers. I think it does with grenade launchers too. It doesn't say it doesn't, I guess, but that doesn't mean it does. But I think it applies to everything but sniper rifles. So we have 12 points left, and you can kind of see where I'm going with this here a little bit with Ghost and Fugitive. What I wanted to do was, yes, we're a tank, but I wanted to be a faster turtle. I wanted to be a little bit faster turtle. So we buy the basic, and we also a sprinter. And I think I buy the basic of Cat Burglar. People don't like it very much, but I like to jump off things, and I don't like to take massive amounts of damage when I do it. So at least this way, it won't take as much health away. People want me to have fast hands. I don't think it's a necessity. It's nice, but I don't think it's a necessity. You know, basically the builds that I do are generic builds to play in public lobbies. If I'm playing with some friends or something and we play together consistently and we're in a call, or even if we're not and we're going to do a specific heist, well, then maybe I'll do a special build. In that case, I might not build anything in Technician. I might put a lot of it in Mastermind and Enforcer or Fugitive and Ghost. You know, it kind of depends. Like my stealth builds, I don't use shockproof. I don't go into Technician at all, I don't think. Or maybe a little bit for the C4, the trip mines, but it's all dependent on how I'm playing. And since most of the time I play in public lobbies, I have a generic build. And that's why I don't use fast hands. There's probably someone else in there that has it. I don't need it. If it's specific heist, I will have a skill build catered to that. But just for generic builds, no, I don't think it's worth it. I would have liked to have had this because walking is just incredibly slow. You are just the slowest turtle ever. But we had to pick and choose, so we had to sacrifice. So if we jump over to Fugitive, we unlock the minis. Oh gosh, what do I do here? I think I aced this, which it's nice to have the little bit more steadiness, but the ballistic vest really doesn't matter because we don't use the ballistic vest. And then the only reason I came into here was because I wanted run and gun. I wanted the extra 10% additional movement speed. So we have 0 points left. That's our tank build. We went over it pretty quick, but I don't know. I mean, we're pretty much a tech forcer here. We got a little bit of Mastermind for the stamina. And then we have a lot in Enforcer. We wanted the armor. The extra ammo is nice. We need the ammo bags for the weapons we use. Berserker is nice to have. The 50% visual, reducing the flashbangs, it is nice to have. But, that's kind of where I have. I don't use shotguns, so we didn't go over here. But this is our Enforcer. Our Technician, we do a lot in tech, even more than normal. But again, it helps us with our armor and a little bit more ammo. Not a lot, but a little bit. And then Ghost and Fugitive are just for speed. So here's for speed and for a little bit of fall damage, and then basically it's just to get that 10% additional movement speed. I've played around with getting rid of these points and just tacking them on somewhere else, but for right now, this is what I have. Again, in the beginning, I did go into Mastermind and tried that. I tried to run more of a Mastermind Enforcer build, but it just didn't work for me. I think I came all the way to the top and couldn't decide whether I wanted Hostage Taker or Inspire, but I just wasn't happy with it. I'm much happier with the build the way it is now. It just suits me better. Anyways, we'll jump over to perk decks. This is the new perk deck that comes with the new DLC character, and it's pretty interesting, but I haven't figured it completely out, on top of the fact that you have to basically have 25% health for it to do what it needs to do. And even then, I didn't feel like it was really doing anything. I kind of feel like this perk deck is useless right now, to be honest with you. I haven't used it a lot, but the little bit I didn't feel like it was really doing anything. But anyways, basically the lower your health, if it's 25% or lower, you can recover your you can recover armor faster. It'll come back, but when I did it, it didn't really seem like it was coming back any faster than it normally would. Maybe that was just me. Maybe I wasn't doing something right. I know my health was below 25% a lot of those times. It was like just a sliver. I got to where I was at that point just to see, but it didn't seem to be working. Headshot damage. This one's for more movement speed. You're 20% faster if your health is below 25%. This is typical. This is again 20% more armor. So that's 40% recovery rate. But it did not seem like that. This is typical. This is more recovery rate, right? When your health is below 25%, you will gain up to an additional 20% armor recovery rate. This is 5% more damage, and this is where it was really interesting. Instead of having to be at 25% or lower for Berserker to be activated, you can be at 50%. And a lot of times you're at 50% health anyways. So this was really nice, and that's why we did Berserker in... Well, that's the main reason I did Berserker in Enforcer, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like this perk deck was working for me. Maybe it was just the way I play. Maybe it just straight up didn't work for me. I don't know. It's new, so maybe there's a bug in it. I don't know. Or I just wasn't using it correctly. Or that's just as good as it was. I'm not sure. So what I did for this build is I went to Muscle and I equipped the Muscle deck. It's good. You get a lot more health. We'll kind of go through this quickly. You get a lot more health. Typical, more health. All the decks have these, this one and this one. You can spread panic if you use an LMG, but I don't use those very often. Actually, almost never, but it's there if you want it. And the reason I wanted it, I wanted the 800-pound gorilla. You can regen health at 4%, or you can regen 4% of your health every 5 seconds. It's kind of nice. We don't really want to be in a position where our health is going down a lot anyways, because we shouldn't have our armor broken through, but if it does, by chance, you can get some of that health back if you're careful. I did also check out armor. I never actually used it. I need to check that out. I probably should have done that first, but I don't know. I was happy enough with muscle that I think this is the perk deck that I like the most. But armor is good. You can stack your extra armor that's added, but it adds oh, where is it here? 10. No, that's not what I'm looking at. Recovery rate. 10. So you can recover your armor. It only adds 20% recovery rate. I don't know if that, I mean, we have enough stacked. I think it's okay. And I kind of wanted some extra health. So I went with the muscle deck. Maybe I'll check out the armor one. It could be better. But for right now, I'm going to be happy with muscle. That's the perk deck I'm running now. Maybe I'll change it later. But for right now, it's muscle. So there you go. That's the skill build. That's the perk deck. That's what we're running. So you can definitely tell almost all our points are on Enforcer and Technician, which is just a small amount here. What do we got? 11 points. With 11 points scattered between Mastermind, Ghost, and Fugitive. Another thing I'll do really quick is show you the weapons I'm using. I am using, at first I used the Thantos, but it didn't have enough ammo. So I actually switched to the R93 sniper rifle. It does good damage. It holds 1 extra in the mag. I think these just hold 5. Yeah, actually this one holds 15, but it doesn't do near as much damage, so I didn't want to use the repeater. I was more happy with the R93, plus I'm more familiar with it. So we're using the R93 sniper rifle. Our secondary, we're using the big bad RPG. We're using the rocket, and it's awesome. It adds an extra rocket to your stash because of our skill over there. It shows you right here. And I don't use it much. I only really use it 10,000 damage. I really only use it on dozers or if there's a big pack of shields or specials or something like that. So I rarely use it, but it doesn't you can't pick up ammo for it. You have to hit a armory or a ammo bag. So that's kind of a pain, but I haven't run into problems with not being able to have ammo with it. For our melee, we are using the katana, which this thing is OP. This thing is MLG OP. It's freaking awesome. And this is again a new weapon that comes with the new DLC character. We're using the same throwables that we always use. We're using the improved combined tactical vest. Equipment, we are bringing fully upgraded dual ammo bags. And that's it. That's what we're using. I might switch my primary eventually, but I think it's always going to be a sniper rifle. This is a good one too, but I don't know. I think I'm more accurate with the R93 for some reason. I don't know if it's just because I've used it before, but that's what we're using. We're using a sniper rifle and a rocket. So we have like all long range, distance weapons. We have nothing for really that close up. But what we have for close up is our freaking awesome, where is it? Katana. So that's what we're doing. That's what we got. And that's the build. That's the tank build that I've got right now. I'm kind of curious. Let me know in the comments if you run a tank build consistently and like to run a tank build, a heavy build. Where exactly do you go? Master Forcer, Tech Forcer, Master Tech? What exactly do you do for your tank build? I'm just curious to compare what I have with other people. I'm interested to see if you have a tank build, what you like to do, and what weapons you like to use. I'm very curious, but yeah, so there's the tank build for anyone that wanted to see it. I'm still working on it. I've actually been using it a lot when I play because I'm trying to get used to it, and the more I use it, the more I like it, but I keep tweaking here and there, so I'm not totally done with it, but that's a good start, I think. So if you wanted to see it, there it is. If you like these build videos, smash the like button, and we can keep doing more. Leave me a comment. If you want to see a build, leave me a comment with what kind of build you would like to see. I have one other build, and it's kind of it's not a serious build. It's not a build that anybody would probably really ever want to do, but it is a build, and I would like to try it out eventually. So maybe we'll do that. But if you have a specific build you would like to see, put it in the comments and let me know, and I can try and build one, and we can go from there. And I'll probably throw at the end of the video here, I'll probably throw on a little bit of footage of me playing around with the tank build on like Overkill or something, just showing the weapons I use and how well it works and the armor recovery rate, stuff like that. So I'll probably put a little clip or something, or a couple little clips in there, so it'll probably pop up here in just a little bit. So you guys and girls are amazing. I can't say it enough. And until the next video, take it easy.
を恨めや。リーダーのボケがシールドをやったで。さあかかれ。さあかかれ。シールド倒したで。クローカー取ったで。
That was well handled. You just bought yourself a little time. Make the best of it.